Now is the time to write the open letter. You always write the open letter at the wrong time. And when she stand up right there, no, you won't write the letter.
What we need here, I figure it out. We need to invite the boss. Producer, we need to invite the boss to come and sit down.
You can't put her on the spot like that.
No, we're not putting her on the spot. I'm just going to ask for a raise publicly.
You're putting her in the chair on the spot. Saying if she's ambiently around, then you just give out sound.
She's what, around?
Ambiently. In the vicinity of.
That is that. Then I learned some words today.
Are you the crossword puzzle every day?
Around, ma'am? We don't know what that means. But I get fired for that word because I really don't know what that means.
Anywho.
All right. The first one says not here police. Hair. So I think the stems, well, a lot of schools have different what do you call it?
Or do they?
They do.
Policy guidelines?
Yeah, because I see some sixth formers with beards and stuff, and I know at St. George's College that's not allowed. At St. George's also, I think it's changed, but if you had a dreadlock, you had to wear a tam. Other schools don't. Other schools say if you want to
so
go
you're
like
suggesting that different schools have different policy?
Yeah.
But people have been suggesting that there ought to be an overarching policy from the ministry that guides everybody, because if you leave it up to you, if you as a principal have a view of a Rastafarian or what your students here should look like, then you will hold them down and trim them, which is what happened the other day.
But here the question, I'm told that the dreadlock is allowed for religious reasons. I beg to...
But how do you know that?
Well, I was just going to say that. I'm not so certain that everyone who has a dreadlock is Rastafari.
But you can't tell me I'm not if I tell you that I am. So
but
it's a whole
point
problem.
is, if you allow that, then why you don't allow something like how my hair... By the way, in a lot of schools, my hairstyle is not allowed.
Why?
Because it has
too much on the top?
Yeah, it has a little bit of a little mohawk stuff. So I'm not certain if it should be right across the board.
It has to be done at the ministry level, because then there are going to be too many different types of interpretation and self-imposed beliefs.
Yeah, but if you listen to the minister, he says, and it ends by saying the schools will still have the final word in its application. They're talking about dress code and grooming and stuff like that. So if you look even at that picture.
But the ministry says it's going to roll out policy guidelines on grooming standards for students as it relates to the styling of their hair, uniform, and general deportment. Yes, schools will still have the final word, but the ministry is providing, I guess, a framework that will help them so that, everything should at least be within a...
Accepted, but again, what would a youngster be allowed to go to school with something like this?
I've seen sixth formers go to school with goatees.
My point is, why not? If it's neat, if it's, if it's...
I mean, it's growing out of your face. It's what happens to you at a certain age, right? So why would you need to...
No, some schools don't allow. At St. George's College, you're not allowed to have any kind of beard at all. That's what I'm saying. But some schools...
What would the reasoning for that
be? I have no idea. Kids are being sent home and are refused to enter the school ground because they don't like how their hair look. That's another thing. I'm not certain if you should send them home for that. Maybe you should say, well, you can't come back the next day with that. But
hopefully the guidelines that the ministry issued will help us a little bit more.
And I'm not an educator, so I don't plan to tell them
You are an educator.
Well,
of course you're an educator.
Not in the sense of
you are an educator.
A school and stuff
different
like that,
type of subject matter, but you are an educator.
All right. What's the next one?
Patrick Powell pleads to judge as defense team closes case in gun trial. Yesterday, businessman Patrick Powell, that case we all know with Kajil Mace, that's been going on for a while now. He's on trial.
Mace case is finished.
Well,
he's on trial for...
Patrick Powell is...
still on trial for not turning over
firearm.
his gun.
So he has said, he was in court yesterday, his words to the judge, "My lord, this is your courtroom. You are God in here. May you have mercy." That's the end of the statement he made while Kajil's father looked on. That must have been very tough.
He says in 2011, "I never refused to turn over my firearm for inspection because I was in custody and have the right to remain silent. Knowing that this matter was under investigation, I exercised my constitutional right to remain silent. All I did was to insist that whenever I was being questioned by the police that my lawyer was present." Well, You'll hear more about that. Bill Cosby trial is interesting also.
What?
Deadlocked jury.
How much do you know? 6, 5, 4?
3. And then the judge has sent them back again and said...
I'm more than 3. For the last story I read, it was 4. And that was like 2 days ago. Are you sure?
Well, no, that you said that I don't sure.
Okay.
But I think I did sure. That mean what? The deadlock jury mean it's good news for him or bad news for him?
Some people would say good news because it could be hung, but that could mean a new trial. So it would probably have to start all over again. But I think they say the longer it takes for you to arrive at a verdict for the defendant. Boy, that story, I still can't wrap my head around that craziness.
And then this one too. I read this one. There was a bomb blast in China at a kindergarten
school.
But when I read it first, it said it was a gas cylinder exploded. Now I'm reading that this was done deliberately.
Yeah.
And the person who did it actually
killed himself.
So 8 people dead. Apparently it was someone of unsound mind.
Well, they say he had a disorder, but the disorder was not in itself a mental illness. So I don't know. They say he suffered symptoms that could have stemmed from an undiagnosed or untreated mental illness. Yeah, something was wrong in his head.
Yeah.
So he did it at the front gate of a kindergarten school. He killed 8 people, including himself. Never you realize that there's something going on in the world that is not...
I know him can't hear me now, but I've been saying this before. If you plan to kill people and kill yourself, I have a suggestion. Kill yourself first. Then kill the people after that. Because if you plan to kill yourself, then just kill yourself and done the argument, which don't make sense still. But don't kill people. Sure. And then kids, I still can't get over that. Wow.
That fire in London.
Yeah.
What a horror.
Incredible.
What a horror.
Very incredible.
It's unimaginable.
Right, sure. And then now we come to Donald Trump.
Our favorite friend, Mr. Trump. It's not really him, it's other people.
I think since...
But you know that he's...
Since Donald Trump decided to run for the presidency, I think we have spoken about him every single morning. So me ban him from smiling.
You know, there are some problems with him now, though. You know, he's looking at a fruit called impeach.
They must impeach him. No, they must impeach him. We must ban Donald Trump. Every day we talk about him.
So what would we talk about if we banned our orange friend?
Me?
Yeah.
Me?
What would...
I don't know what to talk about me.
That's not exciting, no.
How you pronounce it? Kofefe?
Kofefe.
Kofefe.
Which was the foolishness that he typed, obviously, one night while he was falling asleep. 12:06 in the morning.
You sure never need to spite that thing in
the
official word.
He dropped right asleep while he was keep calm and kofefe. Well, from that, everybody has been using it. I think the Dems are actually trying to...
make it into a word?
To pass a bill that will allow him to not delete any of his tweets, and they want to call it the Kofefe Act. He fell off.
Sir Donald.
But more than 30 persons, they say, have actually attempted to trademark this word. So, you know, he's going to take credit for that. I created a word, Kofefe, and it's a great word, and only I know what it means. The Patent and Trademark Office in the U.S. has received more than 30 trademark requests that include the word Kofefe. They want to use the word as is. Other requests include hashtag versions of the word and even Kofefe coffee. I guess that probably would have come from Starburst. One man wants to use Kofefe to sell clothing for domestic pets. In addition to costumes, footwear, hats, and maternity outfits for humans. Jeez and crime. Stop the Kofefe, guys. Stop the madness.